Hello, everyone. Welcome to the post TGE AMA to dive deep into our token launch and more importantly, what's to come. I'm here joined by our CEO, Sam Rollins. I don't think you guys have seen him before. He's a kick ass entrepreneur. Maybe, Sam, you want to intro yourself? I think everyone's seen me
Hey
before.
there, yeah, I'm usually behind the scenes helping get stuff done, but my background is in startups. Founded many, launched a few, sold a few. Came to bring that expertise to Bondex to help us grow this company, and I've done a lot of stuff in the HR tech space. So last decade has been spent there. So it's a super exciting project.
Thank you very much. So, guys, to welcome some opening remarks, I want to touch on. I think we just released kind of an explanation. Now, you can do finger pointing, you can complain, but there's no crying at the casino, right? Ultimately, we made some mistakes in trusting the wrong parties, and the launch did not go as we expected it, right? As you guys know, we had someone snipe, which is all proved on chain, our our pancake swap pool, and then there was an exchange. We don't want to name them. We don't want to start beef with a big player. They haven't really been very nice, but they front run the listing. So there was an embargo. There was 5 minutes that the price setting was meant to be on Pancake, and then all of the centralized exchanges spot was meant to take from the Pancake Oracle and set the price, which I believe at 10:05, even after he got sniped and the sniper got out and did a lot of sell pressure, it was around 12 cents. So we should have gone out on centralized exchanges at a valuation of 120 million. And our real launches was at 80 million, right? However, what happened on the centralized exchange, everyone can go look it up who it was, but they had some real shenanigans. They pumped the token to, I believe, like $2 billion, $2, and then it came crashing down. But the issue was the centralized exchanges grabbed the price instead of from the Pancake Oracle. They grabbed the price from the centralized exchange, making our chart look really bad, starting at like 600 or 400 million, right? This inflated price triggered a cascading amount of sell pressure. And ultimately, it just made a really ugly chart that does not represent the truth. The truth is we went out at 80 and we've consolidated at 50. Now, what's good on the graph? We've gotten rid of the weak hands and the strong hands are in for the long term, right? We have really, really strong volume. We have an amazing, really healthy perps trading at a premium. But most importantly, guys, we're on Alpha Binance. We're on the best number one exchanges in the freaking world, including Kraken. There's more coming, lots of liquidity, lots of volume, but we have a chance of making Binance spot. We need to just gain momentum. And that's going to happen by us delivering on our roadmap and all the exciting news that we have coming ahead. So with that said, some turbulence there. We got punched in the face, but we've been around for 4 years, and I'm going to keep building this company the rest of my life. I'm not going anywhere. The team did not sell a single token. That can also be seen on chain. We're here for the long term. We're the last ones out of the boat, and we're coming fucking hard back. Now, I'll leave it to Sam to touch on a little bit of the pre-tokenomics context and the launch response.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ignacio. So I think that one of the main things to think about here is that previously a lot of the features and tokenomics that we talked about, we haven't been able to launch because we haven't had a public token. We haven't been able to do it. And now that we're finally live, we're out in the markets and you can buy it on all those major exchanges that Ignacio mentioned, we're able to actually launch those features. So those will be coming soon. You're going to see some awesome announcements on this stuff. Real utility. That's the real goal here, right? That's what we all want. And I think that part of that is how does BDXN fuel our social network, our like professional social network, right? It's linked in, but with utility, with Web3 utility and all the backup built into that. So on that topic, the future identity and reputation, the contributions are provable, ownable, monetizable. It's not just a utility token, it's the backbone of our social economic network. You've seen us on that. It's been on our tokenomics for years. It's what we've been working towards. And people always ask, what are the main utilities of BDXN today? Well, coming very soon, things like premium features using BDXN, revenue share eligibility, job listing payments, advertising, referral bounties, and governance. All of that is now possible for us because our token is live. This is stuff that we've had in the background, we've been building and testing, but we haven't been able to get it live. So that's all coming really soon. We're going to have some awesome product announcements on that. You guys are going to see it across all of our portfolio of brands and companies as well, not just on the Bondex platform. There's more coming elsewhere too. On top of that, how does Bondex differ? I think one of the main reasons, and I'll talk about a little bit why I joined Bondex. Back in 2018, I ran a HR tech company, and I wanted to build resumes on chain. I hated reviewing resumes and not knowing if people were telling the truth, if people were talking about what they'd really done or what they wanted to do. And I met Ignacio last year, and I went, "Oh, dude, you've built the thing that I've been thinking about for the past almost decade, about this thing that we want to do." And that's what we're really able to do now. Now we've already got attestations on chain. You've got our minted IDs. Those are going to be have more utility, spreading more places. We've got loads of partnerships coming with that as well. And all of those things build up to, it's LinkedIn, but it's verifiable. Once you say it, it's true. It's on there forever. It's on the blockchain. It's portable. You can take it other places. And we're going to be adding that into how you apply for jobs and how you build the talent pool, how you get found as well, which I think is really critical in the market we live in today, is how you get discovered. I think that's what social economic network is really about. And then being able to share that revenue back with you guys, whether that's through buybacks of our token from our revenue, or whether that's through direct sharing of revenue as well. All of that stuff, good stuff, is to come, and it's all possible now that our token is live. Yes, it was a volatile launch. I think you'll find that most tokens are pretty volatile launches, maybe ours a bit more than others. However, from here, it's only going to go up. We've got the utility, we've got the platform, we've got the community, which is you guys. It's just all about us executing on that and you guys enjoying what we've been building. Ignacio, do you want to talk a bit about the vesting, airdrops, and what else is coming in the future?
Yeah, so I just want everyone to understand the tokenomics a little bit. I think that actually when you have this volatile launch, I hope everyone's claim portal is working. If not, please do the support or whatever. We're going to be there to make sure everything is working, tightly. But now it's vested, so it's up to us to get that value up as you release and you increase the value of your tokens if you've been part of our community, or investors, or our own users, right? But what makes the Bondex token different at the end of the day? It feels a new kind of professional network, right? One where your identity, reputation, and contributions are provable, right? They're ownable, they're monetizable. Your net worth is your network, your data is your own. It's more valuable than oil. We're going to monetize it, allow you to opt in if you want to monetize it and how, and feed those revenues back to you, right? It's not just a utility token, it's the backbone of the Bondex social economic network, right? So to give a little bit more about how the points work, I think now everyone's seen that, we've ranked the amount of points that everyone kind of earned, and based on that, we distribute the community airdrop allocation. The future airdrops, which are endless and infinite, because we're going to be keeping replenishing that rewards pool with our revenues, will be different. Everyone will have a different flavor depending on the market, depending on what features and products and where we are in our roadmap, right? But at the end of the day, the bond points are earned through participation, and they're used as collateral, and they have real utility for referrals, job applications, and profile boosting, which is going to give you more visibility when you're trying to access economic opportunities, right? They also filter for spam. They encourage quality, and they increase the ability to earn more Bondex tokens and get more redistributed value to yourselves, right? What are the main utilities of the Bondex token today that are out there now, right? You're going to be able to use them for premium features, to share that revenue, like revenue share eligibility, right? Job listing payments, advertising, referral bounties, governance. As Sam was just saying, we're going to plug in all this utility that's going to give a lot of value and stimulate the token economy and stimulate the token value and the FDV, right? Over time in a sustainable way. Now, how do we differ from LinkedIn and traditional job networks, right? Well, we're Web3 native, right? Reputation first and economic in nature. That's what makes us different, right? Unlike static resumes that are not verified, right? Or follower accounts that, are not verified, your reputation here is not static. It evolves over time, and you earn it from your contributions. You're not the product. You're part of the protocol. You contribute to it, and you share in its success, right? So what's the social economic network really about? A trust-based system, really, for verified identity, reputation scoring, and shared ownership. Users earn by contributing, not just browsing. It's a new Buddha belt for a decentralized era, distributed work, and most of all, the future of work, which is going to be more and more fractional. We want to monetize our time, attention, and skills in a different way, and we need a next generation infrastructure, which we've built based on blockchain and AI. And this is going to really, really, give a lot of access to a lot of people to their side gigs, to monetize with tokens, to monetize with projects, DAOs. It's a new era, and we're going to bring it to you with Bondex. Now, Sam, maybe you want to touch a little bit on how the vesting and airdrops and rewards unlocking is going to
Yeah,
work?
sure. So as many of you know, the vesting structure for us is pretty simple. It's over 12 months. It unlocks daily. So you'll get those every day. You've got the claim portal. It's on our Twitter. It's on our website. You can go check your claim and see what you've got there. And then that's for the airdroppers. For the team, for us, me, Ignacio, everyone else, we were locked up for way longer. We're here for a long time. We can't move anything. So we're here for the long term. We want to, and airdrop season 2, we'll release the news about that when that's ready. That will come out too. And people are always asking us, how were airdrop recipients selected? I think one of the key things here is season 1 required users to complete a series of key actions, like uploading a resume, verifying a profile, connecting a wallet, making referrals, and earning over 250 bond points. I think one of the things that we haven't talked about externally, that we'll have some posts on soon, is that as part of that season 1 airdrop, there was quite a lot of fraud in there. There was a lot of people pretending to be other people or pretending to have multiple accounts. And it was a really interesting spot for us to be in. And being a tech company and wanting to build real things, we built an AI fraud detection engine that helped filter out people who were, for example, uploading resumes as uploading restaurant menus as resumes, which obviously doesn't count. I don't think any of us are a tagliatelle. That's certainly not any job I've ever had. So we built this AI fraud engine to go and filter those people out. We want to make sure that when we do airdrops, it gets to the real users, the people who are really in our community, not scammers trying to get 100 tokens because they want to upload restaurant PDFs or anything else. We want it to get to our community. So that's something we haven't really talked about, but we built that about a year ago, and we've been using it ever since. We're slowly filtering out and improving its models and how it works. And we've got a post coming on this. This is part of kind of the big reveal, if you will. We've got loads of internal tech that we use and build at Bondex, and we don't always talk about it. So we're going to start doing that because we know you guys will be interested to see what else Bondex is up to there. But yeah, that's how airdrop season 1 was selected. In airdrop season 2, we'll have an even more powerful fraud engine behind it that we're developing, just to make sure that we get those airdrops to the people who really need them. If you want to check about claiming your airdrops, we've linked to the claim portal as well as the OKX airdrop checker, if that's there. As well, if you're one of those ones, put your address in. Try and remember the right address. I know a lot of us have many addresses, but you need to find the right one to be able to claim. And then on top of that, airdrop season 2, this is a very common question. It's coming soon. It's going to have tougher criteria. It's going to have a better fraud engine as well, so we can keep the scammers out and make sure that only the real people get the tokens they deserve. And we'll post more about the mechanics and timeline in the coming weeks. But yeah, be excited. Tokens live. You'll be able to get into airdrop season 2 soon.
Yeah, guys, be conscious that a lot of people that make noise in community and channels that are talking about we didn't get an airdrop, etc. A lot of them are bots from farmers that are trying to screw you, the real user, the real community that hard-earned your Bondex allocation. So help us get rid of that FUD from these people that are really just trying to screw you, right? We want to wipe out these farmers. We want to get rid of the fraud. We want the authentic community to thrive. And that's why we've put all these things in check, right? To touch upon like the exchange listings and what's the post like launch recap, right? So like, where are we currently listed? Let's dive down into that. It was no easy task, right? We are on Binance Alpha and Perps. We're on Bybit, Spot, and Perps. We're on CoinList, right? They did our previous public sale. We're on Kraken, an incredibly reputable US and European mainly exchange. K.io, BitGet, and Dex tools, and there's more coming, right? So let's look at how the first 48 hours went post TGE. The hard thing is actually seeing what the real performance is. We've consolidated around 54 cents. You need to think about that as a percentage from 80 cents, right? I actually need to calculate what the percentage drop is in that, but the consolidation is very good. We had some sell pressure coming in at first. Again, some of it was artificial from kind of how things played out with the turbulent players and bad actors. All I can say is be careful who you trust in Web3. It's funny because that's what we're trying to build here at Bondex is who can you trust and what can you trust, right? And lastly, what have we learned, right? The early results of this results suggest due to the really strong volumes, really strong healthy perps, and the stability of the chart so far, right? is that we have really healthy wallet activity and liquidity, right? We're focused on long-term token utility and network value creation, and that will drive the value of the token over time. And that's what, the plan looks like. We are off to a great start in terms of the venues. We need to get more and more exchanges and better exchanges, and just get that price up, which will happen naturally through our efforts. We're here. We're not going anywhere. We're here to build some amazing things. So what's next for Bondex and the token, Sam?
Well, there's loads coming up. On our near-term roadmap, expanded job categories. We've been hearing from people that, I'm not just a developer, I'm a designer, or I write content, and I really want to be able to gain jobs on the Bondex platform. Those are all coming soon. We started to launch those already. In the less near future, probably a little bit later down the line, fractional work as well. We know so many of you out there have side projects, side gigs, you're doing fractional work. That's something that we've really been focused on. We're a big believer in the freelance and gig economy. We think it's an amazing thing. And we all have side projects. Everyone's got a side project. So we want to make sure that we're able to do that as well and enable you guys to find the best fractional work to do in your evenings, or if you want to spend some weekends writing some code or designing something. And we want to be able to support that. So that's all coming soon as well. We're also getting wallet-linked credentials in, GitHub, Gitcoin, WorldCoin, to name a few, as well as many, many more that are coming down the line. On top of that, psychometric integration. This is something we've been working really hard on behind the scenes, is we want to make sure that we can show the full picture of yourself, not just your professional career and your on-chain activity, but also who you are as a person. So we've been working with a bunch of psychologists on this to really help develop this platform out. And that'll be coming soon as well, along with absolute ton of our product announcements that we're a bit secretive about, but you'll be hearing about in the next few weeks, and are only possible because BDXN is now live. We're currently testing them ourselves just to make sure they all work as we expected them to. It's hard to test things when your token's not live yet. So we're going to have that roadmap laid out very soon, and that is across our entire portfolio of companies, not just Bondex. Remember, we're not just Bondex token, we're Web3 Careers, and we have some others in the works as well that you guys are going to hear about soon. So it's a portfolio that you're working with here, all powered by the BDXN token, not just a single entity. And then how will revenue sharing work? So we make revenue from subscriptions, from companies working with us to recruit. We've got a couple of new products we're launching that will work with companies directly, as well as in-app purchases. So we'll start distributing this back to our token holders over the next months. It'll probably start in Q3. We just need some time to make sure that we understand and get the mechanics right for it. Right, it's a new thing for us to do. So you've got to make sure we get it right. But yeah, revenue sharing is coming. Internally, we call it Drip. So if you guys want to think about that, it's called Drip internally. That's our little code name for it. But Project Drip is one of the big ones for us, and we're really looking forward to showing you guys how that's going to work and what that's going to be able to do. And what is the long-term vision for Bondex? We're building a global platform where users can own their professional identity, reputation, network, and be rewarded for it. We want to make sure that we don't have any fraud, right? That people can show who they are and show their whole selves. Make sure that it's not just your resume, it's your on-chain activity, it's the competitions you go into, the NFTs you're interested in, the communities you're a part of. Our personal thing here is that, I've hired people to be project managers, for example. And I hired this one guy because he ran a World of Warcraft guild for many years. But that wasn't on his resume. That just came up in a discussion with him. But that was really critical for me because I want that he was like, okay, so you can organize people, you can run a team, you can get all these things working, then you're probably going to be really good at the job that I'm looking for you to do, even if his on-paper skills weren't as good. And that's one of the things that we really want to get to our community and get to the people who use our profiles, is that it's all about the entirety of who you are, not just what is on paper. And that's what we're trying to capture. And we've got loads of features coming about that will make your profiles more valuable, more shareable, make you more visible, so that you can make sure that you're getting in front of the right people, the right jobs that you want to do. That is our focus. We live and breathe jobs. We live and breathe talent. That's all we think about every day, I think. And then what about long-term sustainability? We're not here for a pump. It's a turbulent start, but we're here for the long term. We're, as Ignacio's favorite phrase, we're a long-term people playing long-term games. The entire team here, we absolutely love what we do. I've been working in HR tech for the last decade. This is the most fun I'm having. I think this is the real solution to a real problem that every business, every user is affected by. And you guys are early. You guys are the early adopters. You're the first ones to try this out. You're the early ones who can say, hey, I was on Facebook in 2008. You are those guys. So congratulations, you're here early. And that means that you get to ride that up and you can talk about that in the future. So that's something that we're really excited about. And yeah, real users, real data, real impact on people's lives, and real opportunities, which we already have, and there's many more of those coming. Ignacio, do you want to talk a little about the community and ecosystem?
That's right. So as you said, now that we have a token, we can start beginning those tokenized features for a real decentralized and tokenized powerful ecosystem, right? We couldn't do that before. We always kind of went off the playbook of build Web2 products and services, find product market fit, and then you tokenize it versus token first and speculation first, right? So one of the questions we get a lot is like, will there be governance? Absolutely, right? So the holders will vote on feature development, monetization policies, and key partnership strategies. We'll put them up to the token holders, right? How can those legitimate users that build their like maximize their bond points and reputation score? It's pretty easy. Just complete your profile, refer quality candidates, verify your credentials via the reputation score, engage daily, contribute valuable content, and the more trusted and active that you are, the higher your earning potential becomes, along with your reputation, right? And what is the staking and gamified lock-ins, right? So participation-based staking. This is under development. The idea is that you may lock your points and your tokens to unlock higher tiers and referral boosts and platform rewards, meaning you stake your tokens, you get higher revenues. It's a mix of meritocracy and financial incentives, right? And then we would love to show you a little bit of Bondex by the numbers today, the fundamentals of the company, which is what really matters. I don't think the token value is always reflected by the fundamentals. In the long term, the fundamentals will drive the value into the token. David, maybe you want to share the slide for a second, if we can. I think maybe not, but let me just dive into the main numbers of these are the fundamentals of the company, right? There's three things that matter for a company: the fundamentals, the traction, the revenue, the team, the marketing and how you get it to market, and number three, the markets. So these are the three areas that we're going to be focused on in the long term. Now, where are we today? 5 million plus mobile app downloads. That's one of the leading social consumer dApps in the Web3 in the entire industry. 2 million verified users with almost 5 million connected wallets to them. We've generated more than 260,000 on-chain attestations. That's on Base, actually. We're going to be on Solana and many others soon. 357,000 verified resumes. We've raised $10 million to raise today, with 6.5 million raised on CoinList public sale. Unfortunately, the launch didn't go as we wanted to, so there was not much liquidation that could be done at all. We're focused on the price and the chart, and really rewarding and getting the tokens in the hands of the team, of the investors, of the community, of the users, right? There are more 20K plus bonuses available on the job referrals. Go earn some of these bounties. We paid out, I think, 7K bounty to someone recently who didn't even have any recruitment experience, right? Who are our clients or partners? Binance, Solana, Chainlink, OKX, Uniswap. These are the biggest names in the space. So not only do we have a ton of users, we also have and partner with the best, the top companies in the space. And we've done two major acquisitions. One, we're not going to mention today. We're going to mention very soon. It's actually enabling a totally new type of service for the company. But number one is Web3 careers. This is the number one job portal in the space. We now command the number one amount of traffic. When everyone says jobs, Web3 careers, find talent, and anywhere in crypto, we are number one. That combined with our existing job platform, we're going to do some amazing things. We're going to plug in our tokens to power Web3 jobs, Web3 careers, and we're going to apply our incredible AI technology and ATS technology and filtering technology. It's going to get to the next level. I'm really excited about this acquisition. And yeah, I mean, some things that I think, we are lessons from other altcoin launches that we want to discuss, right? That I think could be useful, right? So some things to keep in mind is that, WorldCoin, CyberConnect, Sui, Celestia, they all had similar starts to us that are far from what they hoped. However, there are many things that you can do, and this is the market strategy. This comes down to market makers, marketing, the management of your token supply and distribution, and we are all doing it, right? But the truth is, we've seen many tokens spike and fade. What matters is sustained utility and community engagement. Bondex is playing for the long term. We're building real economic and reputational infrastructure for the next generation professionals. And what you guys will see is that the revenues we generate go back into making the token more valuable over time.
I think just added to that, right, is the Web3 careers, as we just mentioned, right, it's the #1 site you go to for a job. If you want to talk about utility of a company and something that's out there and real and won't fade, that website, it's been around for years. It's the top search. It's the #1 place where people go to find a job. That's part of the Bondex ecosystem. That's part of what we do, along with the profiles and the minted IDs. Your Bondex BDXN works for all of that. It's all towards that. And I'm so excited for the ability for us to get BDXN into those ecosystems and into like real world use cases. Like, you have no idea how much we've been wanting to do this for a long time. And that's really exciting. I think one of the other questions I saw in the chat was about how we filter bad profiles. And yeah, that's how AI fraud engines, not only does it filter when people sign up, it continues to filter to make sure that people are not changing their information to drastically different information, for example. Now, we don't outright ban people. We're not sure we really believe in that at the moment, but we certainly mark the account to make sure that that person has, suddenly gone from 10 years of engineering experience to 10 years of design experience. Those aren't really comparable. So we've got pieces like that in there as well. As we really want to break the fraud within applying for jobs, and make sure that when you're applying, and the people that recruit for our platform, the companies, and Ignacio named a few, there's hundreds more. You can go on our website and see them. That all of them know that when they look at a Bondex profile, it's verified, it's real, right? You've done KYC, you've connected your wallets, you've shown that you're a real human and who you really are. And that's critical, right? That means that, if I'm looking at 2 job applications and I know that one of them is a real person, because unfortunately in Web3, fraud is a thing. Like, it's quite an anonymous space, and it's new and it's young. And some of that's really exciting. But sometimes when you're hiring someone to work on a critical piece of your company or to be really involved in what you want to do, I've got to make sure they're real. So that's one of the areas we're really focused on. We don't talk about it loads, but it's certainly something that we have an entire internal team dedicated to this. They know who they are. So, that's how dedicated we are to making sure that our platform is full of real people. And that's going to continue. And we're only improving those algorithms and that machine learning as we go.
Absolutely. And to go back to, I think that people need to look at what are some of the old launches that perform in the long term due to fundamentals. You need to compass to Sui, Celestia, not just the initial hype and slump or turbulence that could have happened, but ultimately the team stuck to it, kept building value. Or Cookie 3, for example, is one of the close companies that we've seen, do this. And ultimately, the long-term outcome is a really valuable company and a lot of value for all of its users, community, etc. That's who you should compass to. Cookie 3, Celestia, Sui. We have the firepower to keep fighting, and we have an amazing team to do it. Now, just to conclude, today's AMA post-launch, right? Again, we are building for the long haul. This is the first 48 hours of having a token, right? We had a few bad actors, not make it how we wanted to start, but it doesn't matter. We have a really liquid token. We have amazing venues. And actually, this is an amazing price point to get in at. We're really undervalued. You can tell that from the perps trading at a premium, right? People are long. So just to draw, from the examples that I've talked about, that are long-term projects, right? So tokens that rode at short-term hype wave often saw their gains evaporate immediately, right? Whereas projects that kept building and delivering utility achieve more durable growth and value, right? We are firmly aligning, ourselves to this category. The team can reinforce during that AMA that, that Bondex's launch is just the beginning. It's just the beginning. What matters is our continuous development of the Bondex professional network and the value accrual that is going to come, right? The ownership and revenue and sharing for contributors, for users, that's what really matters. We're not chasing quick hype. We're not focused on just a pump and dump, right? The team didn't sell any tokens. The treasury did not get built. This was all, getting in the hands of certain, Now it's all in the hands of the community, the users, the investors, right? And I'm really happy for that. And in amazing venues that are really liquid, right? So we're not chasing that quick hype. We're focused on the long-term fundamentals, growing a strong user base, enhancing our on-chain professional services, making the BDXN integral to the thriving Web3 ecosystem, which now has a company we've acquired and a second company we'll be announcing soon, right? We are building for the long haul, right? This is not quick for us. We've been building for 4 years. I cannot tell you how many companies of our size are still around from 2021 when we started the company. There was a deep bear market. I don't know if you guys remember that horrible period. We kept eating glass, punching through, fighting, and making it to the other side. So if you think a little blip in turbulent, launch is going to deter the team or me from keep going and fighting this and getting a really valuable company, you're wrong. And we have proven that already. If anything, we are resilient. I'm a fighter. I'm here to fight. I'm here to build this company. I'm here to build this dream and this vision that I've had for 7 years, actually. And we started building 4 years ago. We've been through tough times. And this is just the first 2 days. You guys are going to be amazed what we're going to build. I'm super excited with what we're bringing to market. And we're going to bombard you with an incredible amount of utility and value in the coming weeks, days, months, everything. Not to mention the next exchanges to be announced and the next value that you're going to see. Guys, get behind that token. Not financial advice, but it's a really cheap price right now. And thank you very much to everyone. Again, we're here for the long term. Stick with us, and you will be happy you did. Thank you very much, everyone, for today. Sam, anything
thank
you want
you
to
guys.
say?
Yeah, look out for what's coming. It's really exciting. You're going to be amazed what we've been up to behind the scenes.
All I want to say is to all the bad actors in the space, fuck you. And to all the real builders and the real believers and the real crypto holders and believers, we're here to make this industry real. We're here to deliver real value, solve real problems for people. We're not here for a quick buck. And I'm tired for the people that are here for a casino and to extract value from real builders and real companies. So to those people, I say, fuck you. And we're going to keep building, and fuck you. We're here to fight it, guys. Let's fucking go. Thank you, everyone.